Hello and welcome to the Daily Joystick short little podcast today. It's going to be the first of many new ways that we communicate with you, our listeners, here on Facebook and YouTube and all these cool internet places to bring you basically the news, a little bit more bite-sized topics, and also when something comes out in the media, for instance, what we'll talk about today in a moment, I thought this would be a great way to get the team together for a little quick powwow. So it won't be a full 1.5 hour special, I promise you that, but it's, trying to keep it to around 20 minutes or so. So I have with me, first up in the house, CJ. G'day.
Hello.
There he is, everybody. Very good. We also have Cole joining us.
Hello, hello.
Very good.
My feed in HD. I apologise, everybody.
All good. And we also have Shane joining us. Shane, g'day.
Hey, look, we can wave.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. Now, we are still, not all of us have NBN or super duper bandwidth options, so bear with us, listeners. Again, we are still experimenting here as we go, as we move forward and, try new things on DJ. So there you go. All right. Well, Cole has NBN, so he is more than happy right now. And yours truly has Unity Wireless, which has given me 50 megabits. So thank you. This is now possible. Awesome. And my condolences, Shane and CJ.
Oh, soon, mate.
Anyway.
Very, very soon.
Oh, can't wait. You'll be a changed man. I believe you'll be a changed man. All right. So let's kick off. So I guess the point of this first podcast was to talk about a new game that's just come out. I should have brought it with me. It's called Yooka-Laylee. Now, Yooka-Laylee has basically started off a little while ago as a Kickstarter, basically developed by Playtronic Games, published by Team 17. Yes, I'm reading from the internet. It's been developed for most of the systems. It's pretty much the former Rare team that were once with Rare that developed Banjo-Kazooie and other great games. They've basically formed their own team, Playtronic Games, and have made Yooka-Laylee, which hit the stores yesterday. Most of us has picked it up or played it, and we just wanted to talk a bit about our experience and so far what we think. Not just about, it's not a game review, listeners. I think this is more about putting people's opinions into perspective. That's like a good little intro there, boys?
Absolutely.
All right, so maybe we'll kick off with some of the headings I've read, listeners. Yooka-Laylee, 2 out of 10. Or
It's catchy.
That's cold, though. That's cold.
It is cold.
It's clever, though.
Good play on words. Or 9 out of 10, sheer 64 brilliance, right? There's a very wide spectrum of scores there, and I think, without trying to review it here, I think a lot of people are missing what this game is all about. I mean, first of all, it's an indie game, right, guys?
Yeah.
And with an indie game, what do we expect?
Not 100% AAA as the other one was, essentially.
But I think with Yooka-Laylee there was a lot of hype around it, and I mean there was a lot of steam behind this game, and a lot of people were expecting big things. And when everybody, I mean, I've got a lot of friends who aren't gamers to our level, I would say, and they heard that a game called the Yooka-Laylee was coming out, and it was mostly by some of the people who were behind Banjo-Kazooie, and they heard that and they went, Banjo-Kazooie. Every man and his dog played Banjo-Kazooie back in the day. It was a great game. You go to a friend's house, even if you're in a gamer, even if you didn't play games much as a kid, you go to a friend's house, they had Banjo-Kazooie, you play it for a little bit, instantly hooked. There was something about it that you loved. So that's what brought in a lot of people, and when they've played it, they've expected Banjo-Kazooie. I feel like that YouTube video with that politician. They're expecting Yooka-Laylee. Sorry, they're expecting Banjo-Kazooie, and they are, in a way, getting it, but I guess they were expecting more of an updated experience. A lot of what I saw isn't what I've seen in videos. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I've been playing it and I've been thinking this looked better in previous videos that were released. What do you guys think?
I'm going to go out there. Like, I haven't played it yet myself. I was having a look at Paul's stream last night. I think, in my opinion, it's what I expected. I did understand what Paul was saying, that there were some issues with the camera on that movement. I can understand that there is a certain aesthetic that people wanted this game to be very much similar to what they used to play. But, we got better systems now. We've got, everything's better. You would think that, okay, rather than sticking with that where there may have been a bit of a buggy camera or controls a little bit clunky, how about let's make it suitable for today's thing, what you would expect. Let's not have these issues where controlling to get up a ramp or something like that is difficult because of the control of the camera within the game. Definitely.
And I've got to add to that, because a lot of people were saying, I've spoken to a couple of guys today that I know, and they said, oh, but that's what the original Banjo was. It was poor camera controls. And I said, I played Banjo, and let me tell you, they were not this bad, to the point where I've gone back and actually loaded up Banjo via Xbox Live just to double check. I mean, I'll pull the card out if I have to, but it was not that bad. Yeah, you would move the stick a bit, but in last night's stream that I was playing, I mean, I think it's a colourful game. It's bright. It looks really nice. And I'm loving the humour. It's great, right? And there's a 30-odd minute stream of me last night, or 40 minutes on our Twitch channel. And I'll put a link up here later, as long as it's live on Twitch, because it kind of expires. I'm looking into it anyway. But long story short, that at about the 20-minute mark, I'm just trying to get up a little platform. And as you do it, the camera spins around, and it kept flipping me back, and I was getting dizzy. And, mate, this camera was possessed by a demon, like literally, to the point where I could not control my character, and I was dying relentlessly, falling off.
It did look frustrating.
And I happened to fall off of a ledge that actually landed me a special pirate gem. So, in a way, I'm kind of happy. But still, it wasn't something I was supposed to discover naturally. So I'm a little bit... I'm not happy with the way the camera was working, but if you say it's part and parcel of the game, I would say to a point. But, at some times, this felt pretty broken, guys. Like, just the camera control and the game control, like, the rest of the idea so far is fantastic. And for an indie team, let's not forget, these guys don't have the resources of, say, Nintendo, when Rare was part of them, and massive studios and hundreds of people. This is a small team, probably working out of someone's home or a small complex anyway.
Mm-hmm. But they were used to, like, they're the ones that made the original. So, okay, they're making it for the new consoles and things like that. It's a matter of, rather than going back to what they did, let's learn from your mistakes that were in the original one. Let's make it better.
And that's for reviews. Reviews are varying. I mean, as low as, like I said, 2 or 3, Polygon 5.5, IGN 7, GameSpot 6, Game Informer 8, Destructoid 8. There's quite a wide range. I mean, Metacritic, it's sitting at around 73 for PC and Xbox One, and for some reason, the PlayStation 4 version gets a 69, go figure. So hard to please those Sony gamers. But,
we are a stickler for quality, Paul. I'm sorry about that.
I need those P's and B's, mate. But, let's just call it an even 70. I mean, it's still a solid title. And I was talking, I don't know what half of these reviewers are on about. This game is fantastic. It's true classic Banjo. And I guess that's the key. I mean, let's not forget, this was the Kickstarter. This was funded by people who wanted something to be made much like the original. So you would expect it to deliver on that. I mean, if it was a completely different game, maybe people wouldn't have been so appreciative of it. You know, it works both ways, I think, listeners.
Okay, let's take another step on that. You know, what sort of demographic are we talking about? What sort of age range are reviewing this? If this is their first game and they never played Banjo, how would that affect your impression of this game if this was the first one? Would you give it such a low score?
Yeah, because you're judging it against today's standard. And even for some indie games, you expect when you move a controller left or right, you're going to move that way. I mean, you're expecting the camera to work. I mean, most camera today is automatic. You have that polish. You have the camera doing its own thing.
Yeah.
You know, me controlling the camera with my right thumbstick, yeah, it was still... They should have just made the camera completely manual. You know, turn off the automatic camera.
I got to jump on that. Okay, there is a lot of games out there that your 9s and your 8s, they're way up there. I just finished reviewing Kingdom Hearts, the 1.5, 2.5 collection, and to this day, the one problem I ever had from me personally seeing in my heart of hearts putting that game at a game out of a 10 out of a 10 is its camera. It is so frustrating at times. And here's a game now this is a re-release. Like, it came out for the PS3 just before the PS3 was released. They had the 1.5 collection. And the camera issues were still there. And I was like, damn it, okay, they didn't fix this. This is the one problem I had with this game back in the day. And now here it is again, the collection, all done up again, spruced up just a little bit more for the PS4. They still haven't fixed that camera issue. I have seen games that are really high up there, top tier. I've seen them get 10 out of 10s. And somehow you look in the description and the reviewers also made a comment about the camera. So some games are getting passes for their bad cameras and some aren't. And it seems like Yooka-Laylee's getting a lot of flack for its camera. So... I don't
Especially
know.
to the point where it's modifying your experience.
Yeah.
When I can handle the camera doing a few bad things, but when it fundamentally stops me completing an objective like jumping on a ledge, because it's spinning around and doing its own thing, that's a problem. But I'm not judging it completely on that. What are your thoughts, Shane?
Well, see, I haven't had any of that happen yet. I mean, I think I'm only about 30, 40 minutes into it. So, yeah, I mean, I get what you mean about the camera. It's not perfect. And I actually went into my settings and played around with the sensitivity a bit of it and moved it up and down and then got it a little bit better than what it was on speak. But, yeah, I don't think I'm far enough into it yet to kind of hit any of those parts where it's going to cause any real issues. So, yeah,
that's a good
can't
point.
Comment too much.
Yeah, it might be worth checking some of those controller settings and tweaking them, listeners, if that helps your cause. Definitely. So very good.
I have to ask, why do you think it's getting such low scores? Well, I guess mid-range.
I think there's two reasons. I think some people feel that the game is unfinished and too short. Again, I think people are judging it by a retail game score rather than an indie game score. And I do think they're different. I think the expectation on an indie developer should be lower than that on, say, someone like an EA or a Bethesda or a Microsoft. Like it's about resources and things like that. But, they put in 5 levels and someone said, well, I'm giving it a lower score because there's only 5 levels, 4 of which were great, 1 was crap. And I felt it should have had more. Is that enough of a reason? I don't think so. I think so far I'm only on the first level and I've pumped 2 hours into it last night, and I've just expanded that level to go higher into the sky, and I'm having a ball. So, I can definitely see myself getting 10, 15 hours plus value out of this. I mean, yeah. Again, people's value. Yeah, and people's value and expectations differ as well. So. But I certainly range.
I want to jump in there and throw a spin on that. You just said, you probably get 10, 15 hours out of it. People have just jumped out and praised that this new, I know it's going off track here, but this new Uncharted is going to be 10 hours long, and they're jumping up and down saying, oh, that's great, it's 10 hours long. So why is one game getting praised for being 10 hours and the other one getting absolutely scolded for it?
It is a completely on an individual basis.
It's a stupid, if you play the game, even if it only lasts for 40 minutes, if you enjoy those 40 minutes, what's the issue? Like, if there's a game you enjoy, obviously it doesn't matter whether it's 50 hours or 10 hours, you're going to want it to keep going,
That's true.
Right,
a lot of people, I believe, sort of base a game and value for money based on like the $10 per hour basis. If they can get 10 hours out of a game and it's $100 game, then most of them will consider that's a good price. If it's a 40-minute game, or if you can smash it out in 2 or 3 hours, then they don't. Yeah, and it's still a $100 game, then they'll consider that to be not worth it.
I can understand that, but at the end of the day, everyone plays games differently.
Exactly.
We spoke about it when we spoke about Breath of the Wild. It's a prime example of how I think all of us that played it went a completely different direction. Obviously that's a massive open world game, so that's a bit different. But some people love to go and collect these little things. You don't need them to finish the game, but some people will love going and doing that before they even touch any of the story. So
because
the length of it really depends on how you play the game.
Yep.
It's not really an even judgment, in my opinion. How can you judge something on the time if the time's different for everyone?
Time aside, I wouldn't throw this up there that high. The very second I started it up and I said to Paul and CJ last night, I was like, my God, this looks like a complete copy and paste. I know these guys are, old Banjo, old Rare developers and all that, but I'm playing it and I'm like, my God, this looks just like Banjo-Kazooie. Like, I know it is supposed to be looking just like Banjo-Kazooie, but I was expecting a unique experience while at the same time a bit of a tip of the hat to Banjo-Kazooie. But playing, I'm like, everything I'm doing like Banjo.
But it was never aimed at that. It was pretty much aimed as, hey, this is another go at Banjo-Kazooie. Like, I don't think they toted it as this is going to be completely different.
I don't know.
And that's the point, right? I think the understanding what this game was trying to be, everyone's got a different view on. And I think Shane hit on the head. It was supposed to be a piss take of Banjo-Kazooie, done again with different characters, a complete rip-off, a bit more of the original game for everybody to re-experience in today's modern consoles. It wasn't supposed to be a retail release. It was supposed to be a Kickstarter backers only. The only reason why this thing went on to Xbox and went on PlayStation is because it was so popular. Then suddenly PR was like, oh, maybe we should get involved in this now because there's it's been overfunded by about $3 quadrillion.
There is money.
We haven't heard this happen before, have we?
No, and they're all on the bandwagon now, and out it is. But all that aside, I think Banjo needs to be not Banjo. Sorry, my bad. Yooka-Laylee needs to be taken in the context of what the original was developed as, and it's a throwback to the original. It's supposed to have 64-bit bugs in it, if you want to call it that way. But overall, it's still a fun and playable experience, and I think that's exactly what it is. I don't think this game is a 2. I don't think it's a 10, but I definitely think it's somewhere around the 6 to 8 mark. Maybe 8's pushing it. Maybe a mid 7, 7.5. It's a mediocre. It's well worth playing. Great in your collection, but it's not something that you would put as Game of the Year contender.
Sure.
Yeah, and let's not forget that they only launched Banjo-Kazooie on one console. They've now done it on a whole heap of them, and they've done it pretty well, I think, for a smaller dev.
Yeah, absolutely.
It takes a lot to launch on all the platforms. Well, we don't say it once because they're still waiting for the Switch version or whatnot. But, I'm playing it on PC and it runs smooth as, absolutely smooth as, and it looks awesome. And, everyone's saying it runs the same pretty much on the PS4 and the Xbox One and whatnot. So, I think they should be congratulated for that.
Yeah, definitely. I did have one area of slowdown, but that was where 4 fire tubes were breathing at me and I was jumping over and then I fell off and then it kind of had to, it slowed down for a split second. But other than that, it was fine. So, we just wanted to have that chat about Yooka-Laylee, and I guess from what you've heard from all the team here, listeners, is it's fun. Go pick it up, play it, enjoy it. It's well priced. It's like $49. Maybe like as good old Shane will get you the Steam price. You need a good price, talk to Shane, he'll hook a brother up.
That makes me sound like a bit of a shady character there, Paul.
Yeah, in the back of your Skyline at the car park, don't worry, it's got sorted.
The Blacktown drive-ins, yep.
But, it's definitely worth picking up. It's not like it's $100. I mean, then, geez, could you imagine the feedback then, listeners? So, well worth it. Pick it up, give it a go, have some fun. Throw back to the original. So, all is good. Next story I wanted to touch on today is the Nintendo Direct. So, in case you were living under a rock, well, not really. Nintendo doesn't exactly publicize this months in advance.
No,
but, yeah, well, pretty much yesterday, I think, or this morning, I got the press release about Nintendo Direct coming out pretty much tomorrow morning, actually. Adelaide time, I think it's about 7:30 in the morning, the Nintendo Direct. Now, apparently this Nintendo Direct is going to be focused on some Switch information, and there's a little bit of 3DS as well. In particular, I think they'll be focusing on Mario Kart and probably Splatoon, from what I could gather from the media release. There wasn't a much. Sorry, ARMS and Splatoon, not Mario Kart. You're not even Mario Kart, but maybe they might touch on those games, and maybe they might talk about some other ones coming out. What do you guys think of this Nintendo Direct around about now? I mean, for me, I think it's well needed. It's well needed.
Yeah, people need a bit more of a direction. Yeah, as you guys have said on multiple occasions, the Switch right now is pretty much a Zelda machine. We haven't really seen anything big come on the 3DS this year yet. Yeah, that's in my opinion.
Sure.
So some sort of direction would be nice, and it's probably a good time for it too, because media is quite low at this time. We're sneaking into the pre-E3 area where it gets very quiet. So yeah, just that little bit of news is pretty good.
Carl, what do you reckon?
Oh yeah, I mean a little bit of an update, wouldn't hurt. I'd like to hear some more news about what they've got planned ahead. I'm very hyped for Mario Kart. I've already got a pre-order down. I'm that hyped for it. Looks great from what videos I've seen. They've actually put a bit of spit shine to it, but yeah, a little bit more of a roadmap. Plan. More, maybe some more dates. More dates for Switch games would be great. If they could do that for a few more titles. Yeah.
A bit of a mention of the of Pokemon would be nice, Kyle. Would you?
Oh, mate, Pokemon Stars! Could you imagine? That would be awesome.
No, please don't announce it. I can't afford it. Come on,
start out straight to his local EB Games and pick up a Switch. He'll just sit there at his desk, just rubbing it, passionately kissing it, saying, "Raven, ready for you." Yes, yes.
Oh God.
Well, I'm glad they're excited for something, listeners, because right now I am not. I'll be brutally honest with you, team. I'm not. I love Nintendo. As you can see, we go back. Yeah, but I must admit, you gave me Zelda. Fantastic. I'm a Zelda fan, but I want to see some new titles from Nintendo first party. It's great that we saw that image with all those third-party titles and all the indie stuff coming out, and it was full, right? And it's across the whole year, and it's going to drip feed and stuff's going to be there. But I keep walking into a shop expecting something different. I still see the same games on the shelf and a whole bunch are coming soon. We need to start getting content out there, Nintendo, actual physical stuff as well, not just digital stuff from indie developers, disc versions. Like today, I think Lego City was the first new game I could see up there. Star Spear Valley's coming out tomorrow. Stardew Valley. I call it Star Spear Valley, but anyway, I am picking that up too. But yeah, just more games, like more of your first party stuff. More, get to E3 or hold it direct and actually announce some games that no one was expecting from Nintendo. Like that'll be great. actually show us you're working on some stuff. So, because now Zelda's out the way, you've appeased the Nintendo crowd, but again, I'm back to the same thing. My Switch is staying off when it should be on a bit more. And this was the fear, before we got wound up in the hype and we all got a Switch, and it is a great idea, but I said it before, and it's going to come out the vault and bite me in the ass. When I see more games, it'll be worth investing in. If they did not have Zelda at the launch, this system, I'm sorry, I do not think it would have done as successfully as it has. Zelda has driven
no way. No way.
You're agreeing with me or disagreeing?
No, I'm agreeing. I'm saying no way would it have done anywhere near what it's done. If there was no Zelda, really, there was nothing to buy at launch other than Zelda. What people like 1-2 Switch, I suppose, but I wouldn't spend $400 or whatever, $450 to play that.
No, I don't want to be doing this all day for the Carl knows because
I still think that the only title that's going to sell a bunch more units is a Pokemon game. It's Zelda and Pokemon. That's Nintendo's biggest cash cows.
Nail on the head, CJ. I mean, hey, Nintendo, look at the success of Pokemon Go. I saw people out on the streets, masses in parking lots. Freaking, what's that massive park in New York? Oh, help me out, you guys.
Central
Park. Central Park. There were thousands upon thousands of people rushing around because somebody yelled out, "There's a Dragonite over here." I don't want to swear. Wake the hell up, Nintendo. Pokemon is your juggernaut.
Kyle.
It's not Mario. It's Pokemon. Pokemon is still very much a large presence.
It's going to have to be, and I reckon this will be their sales tactic. It'll be a November, early December release. It'll be out for Christmas.
Good.
For everybody to buy their titles for their kids for Christmas. Yeah.
This year, yeah. It's got to be.
I don't think if they haven't announced it yet, I don't think it'll be out by then. I think maybe next year.
They've announced the name. They haven't announced the date.
Was that confirmed, though? I remember reading just saying that was
it's confirmed.
That's confirmed.
It's kind of like
yeah, you might be right then. We might get it.
It's a modified version of Sun and Moon. The whole game is written already. All they have to do is put it on.
I'm going to
put
you guys back to planet Earth. You got all right. Let me just bring you back. You got as much chance of Nintendo bringing this game out by the end of the year as freaking Tingle has of getting laid. All right, a 40-year-old whatever, right? No chance in hell.
We'll grab Tingle a raincoat. It'll come.
So
this is what they're going to do, right? They're going to announce something. They're going to build hype, and in maybe a year and a half to two plus years, it'll come out. I'll tell you why. They don't want to release their tier 1 product game like Pokemon with an install base of 2 million consoles, right? They want to build the hype with other titles. No, but then even if it comes out, they can only ramp up production to make another 3 million. They'd rather bring a game out like that when the install base is 15 to 20, so that can be guaranteed of selling 20 million copies of day one, plus driving future sales of the next 20 million. You don't. It's kind of like the first day, right? You don't go all out. You know what I mean? But take your time, plan. Set your games and set your strategy. So people got to realize Nintendo's got this. They're not like, what the hell's Pokemon? They know what Pokemon does. It prints the money. How they do it, these young ones.
But what's the one thing we've seen so far? Nintendo don't care what the fans want. They say they care. They don't. Nintendo does what Nintendo wants to do.
Yep.
And it's exactly what they're going to keep doing. They don't care if everyone's like, we love Pokemon. Even with the huge success of Pokemon Go, they don't care. But we know Pokemon stuff.
I think Pokemon Go was a bit different. They put it on a device that everyone has already got in their hands. You're not trying to sell them a $450 console to play it.
Shane, I knew I had friends, and I bet you, mate, People, it wasn't just my friends that did it. It was other people out there as well that actually went out and upgraded and bought new phones just so they could play the probably even Paulie's.
I have no doubt, but then again,
upgraded their phones just so they could be a part of the craze. Just so they could be a part of the craze.
But it's a multi-use device. You're not going to be calling people in all of that on your Switch.
You say to your mates, you say to your mate Stephen or Peter, you say, hey, a Pokemon RPG game is coming out for the new Nintendo console. You can play it anywhere. They're like, really? It's like, yeah, it's like, Skyrim and all that. You can go out, catch Pokemon. It's like the old Pokemon game, but, it's upgraded, graphics are better and all that, and you can play it anywhere you want. It will just...
The key is
to do that with a 2DS or a 3DS. You've been able to do that for years. If they haven't bought into that yet, I don't think trying to entice them with a $450 Switch is going to do it.
But look at when they brought it out. Look at when they brought it out for the handhelds after they had their install base, right? And look at the number of units that sold in one day. It was like millions, right? That's the key. I reckon E3 you're going to get an announcement or a trailer or a tease, and nothing to at least 2018 mid to late. If I was to release it, that install base grows.
I hope you're wrong.
Well, look at what is it, Mario Odyssey or whatever? Like, we've seen videos and all of that, and we still don't even have a date for that. I mean, we might see it in this direct. That was what I was going to say earlier. Maybe they might surprise us with a date for that. But, I'm thinking even if they come out with a date for that, that's going to be closer to the end of the year. But we've already seen video and all of that running. With this Pokemon, what have we got a name? Like, I know you said CJ is kind of just a copy and paste of Sun and Moon, but if we haven't even seen anything running yet, I don't know. I'm going with Paul on this one. I think, you'll see it maybe halfway through next year at the earliest or something.
Yeah, you got to have a strategy, I think. You got to get people excited for the project. I know you want it, CJ, and you got to put that aside because I think even if they released it for you tomorrow, you bought it, they're not going to sell any more than 2 million copies. Period. Is that what Nintendo wants for one of their biggest franchises? It is, but they can't keep up with demand. They want to be able to produce 5 million units in the next 2 months to cope with the demand of that game.
People
get tired of waiting.
I'll tell you what, we'll leave this in the history book so we can look back on it, Paul.
Oh, it's on the net now, mate.
I bet you, if Pokemon comes out, Switch sells gangbusters. Okay?
Are you talking this year, though?
When it comes out. Hopefully it does come out this year. I hold my heart it does. But honest to God, if they say it's not ready, if, say, come September, they say, Pokemon Stars still needs some time, to get polished and all that. Well, I probably could have better hand action for that one. But if they say, Pokemon Stars has got to be polished a little bit more to be perfect, I'll be like, yep, no worries, mate. Bring it to me next July even. Because I want that to be perfect if it's going to be like a Pokemon RPG. Like, if it's going to be like Pokemon Sun and Moon, but on the Switch with all that power behind it. I'm like, yeah, sure, no worries. I'd rather it be perfect and run well. That'll make me happy. But I will say this to you. That's what they're going to do.
They're going to have all these other games coming out in between. That's what Paul's saying. That's what will build the hype for Pokemon. People will go, I can get Pokemon on it. But hang on, there's Mario and there's this and there's that as well that they can get on it.
But Paul's also saying that he reckons that Pokemon will come out and it won't sell Switches. I reckon. No,
it will sell Switches. That's what I said.
You don't think it'll sell gangbusters though? Like it'll sell lots.
Well, it can't because imagine today. Imagine that game was out today, right? How many Nintendo Switches are on shelves right now?
A few.
A few, but likely not enough.
Not enough. Then Nintendo's going to be like, we're going flat out with production. By the time in 6 months we'll have another 10 million ready to go. The ship sailed. People, and that's the thing. You've got to have enough systems out in the wild, first point. And the second point is you've got to have enough ready to be bought for the new adopters who want to jump in because of that game, that system seller. And you saw it with Zelda. Yeah. All the Zelda fans bought it with attach rate of the Switch with like 90% attach rate for that one game. And then someone said, the other 10% of Switch owners did is beyond them. But, it's just, people. I know it's going to do well. I guarantee it'll do well. But it'll do better if there's more already out there in the market in terms of units in hands, like an install base, and plenty of stock ready for people to buy. Because you're right. It will go gangbusters. I'm not down in that. But just
and how do they do that, Paul? How do they do that? Get more systems out there and get people buying them by having other games first. That's how you do it. They're not going to drop Pokemon if there's only Pokemon and Zelda on it, because as much as some people do love it, and Kyle, I know you said your friends would go out and buy it, the masses won't. They'll look and go, oh, Pokemon's on it. But what do I do when I finish playing that? If they've got other games out before it, they can go, well, hang on, there's Mario and there's Zelda and there's Mario Kart, and now there's Pokemon. Oh, bang, there's 5. They can justify the purchase. Whereas if you drop Pokemon now,
sorry,
what are they going to play? Pokemon.
Sorry, Shane. Do you think people look at this and actually think ahead?
Well, I don't know. Maybe us being gamers, we do. I do. But
you think human beings going to look at this and think ahead?
You're going to find it a bit. You're going to find it a bit
hard to ask, but
you will find it a bit hard, guys, to play this game without no online infrastructure at the moment.
Hey, I can see that you're online, Paul. That's all that matters. That's all we need, isn't it? I can see a little logo that says online.
Well, yeah, maybe. But it's a fair point, We'll see what comes out of that Switch tomorrow. Maybe they'll announce some of that stuff. Maybe it will literally just be ARMS and Splatoon 2. I played ARMS. I know Kyle played ARMS. It was fun for a few minutes in the party, but it's a motion game, guys. So unless you want to have boxing matches with your controllers all day long, you're probably going to get tired in about 10 minutes and put the game down. So
basically, it's just like a lot of this. It's boring. Your arms get tired quickly. It's okay, but maybe
quick burst in the party, yeah.
Great for parents with kids and getting them exhausted and ready just before bed. But it is for adults. Nah. Kids.
No. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. All right, listeners. Well, I reckon that'll wrap us up for this short little podcast here that we've got. We'll add it up on the site very soon. Again, let us know what you think of this. This is a new part of DJ that we're going to continue to do. We'll get better. We'll get a fancy new intro soon and some cool background music and all the links and shit that you got to click and all of that. That'll come. But for now, it's just 4 blokes.
better webcams, better cameras.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting some new wallpaper or something. That's got to be fixed.
Next week they've all got like collections behind them like this, or just do some Photoshop thing, guys, and you'll be right.
Just one last thing, Paul, before you keep going. If we get to 10 likes, that guitar behind CJ there, he'll crack it out and start doing a song for everybody on the next podcast.
What guitar? There's no guitar there.
10 likes. That's all we're asking. 10 likes.
Oh, Cole, we're going to see if your dishes are still in the same spot on the next one.
It's moving now. The only reason why I bought that was for Rocksmith, so I could actually try and learn how to play guitar.
Yeah. And also, just for a cheap little plug here, listeners, I did pick up, and you are listening, this headset is only purely for the audio until I work a solution out. But the microphone right in front of me was recommended by, pretty sure it was Kyle on the team. I got recommendations for a new webcam, which is fantastic, and now the microphone and a great monitor by Chris. Thank you. But this is the one I picked up. It's called the Yeti Pro by Blue. Fantastic. I mean, this thing is solid. It literally is, this big. Like, it's a big-ass mic.
The Pro mic.
It's a bloody good mic, too.
For those curious, Boogie2988, the YouTuber, he also uses it and highly recommends it, as do a lot of other YouTubers.
Yeah. Definitely. And it is really solid, guys. Like, just lifting it up and moving it. I mean, this thing's got some serious oomph to it. So hopefully you're going to start appreciating the better quality of the work we're doing, and as we grow and continue to do what we want. We're doing the same sort of thing, but it's nice to put the video, you see the team, have some fun. So
don't lie, Paul. You just wanted to show off your collection again.
That's right.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. I am proud of my collection. It has taken years to do, and I will do a proper game room tour. Listeners, down the track something solo when I can find some time and go through some, because that's just half of it. The other half is sort of, so hence why I said, when I say stacked from the floor to the ceiling, I wasn't kidding, listeners. I'm not as cool as you, Shane, with that wallpaper, right? Come on, give me a break.
Hey, don't be hating on the wallpaper, all right? All these nice retro games and nice backdrops and things like that.
You should have kept all the posters from the last EB Expo and all the rest of it.
Oh, I've got somewhere. I'll give it a go. I'll put some posters up.
You know why I got this?
I just have to make sure they're family friendly.
You know why, listeners? Because I'm a console gamer. I'm not always upgrading my PC every 6 weeks. See, that's where you save your cash, listeners.
Oh, hang on. Who just bought a new PC that was totally about buying
10 years.
PC?
10 years old. Come on. I bought it before my daughter was born. She turned 10 last week.
Wow.
That's a long time. That's a good run out of a PC.
Good life out of a PC. That's great.
Go the Dell XPS 420. Let me tell you. It did this job. But we're sidetracking, listeners. I don't want to hold you up. Again, thank you for tuning in for this quick podcast tonight. And again, we'll have more of these soon. So until next time, which hopefully won't be every 2 weeks, we're going to do this more regularly. Like, subscribe, tell your friends.
Smash that like button.
Smash the like button. It's down here in the comments. Someone's going to show me how to do these freaking comments. Like, do we do that? We do?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
All right. So until then, listeners, enjoy Yooka-Laylee. It's classic N64 fun. Enjoy. Yeah. Peace out.
Don't forget those 10 likes.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
See you guys.